Hey guys, so we're going to be going over the new DLC for Rogue One. This is on the planet Scarif. I was a little nervous about this DLC just because I was so excited for the movie coming out with all the hype and everything, but honestly I was really surprised at how good it is. There's a three-part combat to this mission here. It's called Infiltration. The first part, you have to escort your U-Wings, which is the new kind of iconic ship in Rogue One, through the shield gate and onto the planet Scarif. The second part, you have to distract them, and you'll see what happens with that in a second, so that you can eventually steal the data tapes that contain the Death Star plans. So here in this first section, as an X-Wing, your job is to clear out any TIE fighters that you can so that you free up space for your U-Wing to fly through the shield gate. And at first, the TIE fighters spawn in one big wave, and they just kind of come at you right where you're at. They spawn a little bit closer at the beginning than they do later on, and you just kind of have to clear them out. And it's a little troublesome because they're kind of flying around everywhere, but one strategy that I found effective after you're done clearing them out, and you'll see this in just a second, you just fly on over to where the kind of like where the engine areas are of the Star Destroyers. So here I go doing this, and this is their spawn point after like two and a half minutes, I think. So the point behind this is that you take out as many TIE fighters as you can after they spawn early on, so that your U-Wing has more space to fly to the shield gates. Also, one thing that a lot of people I don't see do a lot is cutting the throttle when you're flying around in a fighter, because cutting the throttle dramatically increases the damage you deal when you're in the fighter. I guess it's because it increases the accuracy. I'm not exactly sure on that. I think obviously you lose some evasiveness, but you definitely do pick up a lot of damage that you can deal. Okay, so like I was saying, with going next to their spawn point, take a look at where all my guys are now. You can tell by the blue circles. Those are your guys. The red ones show up as the enemy. But most of my guys are now down there by the Star Destroyer engines, and that's where you want to be. As long as you guys can just keep it up there, then that's great. So we did make it to the surface. Sorry I cut off that part with the shield gate there going through with the U-Wing. But this part is called the distraction. Notice there's something that we're defending on that cargo ship. So the point is, this is kind of like a sabotage, just reskinned. You just go up to the ships and you start the timer, the countdown timer on the detonator, and after a certain amount of time it does blow up, and that serves as a distraction effectively to, I guess, draw the Imperial's attention away from you stealing the plans to the Death Star. This is a little annoying. Something I don't like about this planet is the foliage. It's kind of cool to look at, but like you saw right there, I got stuck. And sometimes you just can't tell where you're going to get stuck and where you won't, because the plants will look the same. So it's a little frustrating. That's something that I think maybe they're going to work on a little bit more with just glitches and whatnot. So one thing you always want to make sure you have on this level is either a jump pack or a smoke grenade. Those are so valuable when you're playing these types of missions where you need to either get in really quick to start the timer on something, or if you want to provide cover for yourself while you're starting that so that people can't see you. And it just seems kind of silly to use the smoke grenade, because it's like, okay, like what is it doing for me, honestly? But it actually does a ton. People don't focus on you as much, and then oftentimes they actually just run into the smoke, and you can see in the smoke once you're inside it, but until you actually run into it, then you can't see much, and that gives you the chance to kind of get the heads up on them before they get
there. The cargo ship is up in flames. That should distract the Imperials while our team goes to work. Move towards the rail speeder station and secure the area.
Alright, so this is the third and final part of the Infiltration game mode. Notice there are 3 of us running around with these things we're carrying saying escort. Those are the data tapes, and if you remember at all from the trailer for Rogue One, you see Jyn Erso carrying some kind of like briefcase. It's like a small briefcase looking thing, and those are exactly what we're carrying. Those are the data tapes for the Death Star, and you have to escort them to the U-wing at the opposite side of the island. So one thing you also want to be aware of at the very beginning is who's going with who. At first, you'll see some people kind of scatter and run off with one guy, some with another. You just want to choose the biggest group and follow them. Earlier in my video, I talked about how you need to have a jump pack with you. That is absolutely essential here. Notice I'm waiting to charge it up here. I turn on my shield and jump in there, grab the asset, as they call it, or the data tapes, and then you can run. The shield is especially important because the Imperials are going to be all over the place, and if you don't have it, you will die pretty easily unless you get lucky or you have a lot of guys with you, so you just want to be careful of that. Notice also I'm not using my jump pack when I'm running with the data tape. You might wonder why that is if you haven't played this game mode. The jump pack actually makes you drop the data tape, so if you're wondering why for some reason you end up losing it, it's not a glitch, it's nothing weird with the game itself, it's just that you keep dropping it as you activate the jump pack. So big take-home message from today, just jump in with your jump pack and shield, activate the asset or the data tapes, and then run for a little bit. You might die, but it's okay because other people will pick it up. That's really all there is to it. Stay up to date on my channel. I'll be doing some more Rogue One DLC tutorials for the different aspects that they've introduced.